Hey, and welcome to another podcast, Valley Sunday. I am one of your hosts, Chris Paco.
And I'm your other host, Jeff Cameron.
How's it going, Jeff?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing well. We know we're a week late, but this time there's an actual real reason for it.
Yeah.
Right now, we are in the same room together, which we have not been since Leap Day 2020.
It's insane that we've been doing this that long in general.
And it's also, we're in our friend's kitchen, so it might sound a little different, but yeah, we figured to do this last show of the podcast together in the same room is better than having it sound consistent with the other episodes, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't done an episode in person together since episode 24 of the actual TV series.
Yeah, which is crazy, like mid first season.
Wild.
But anyway, so here we are. We're doing the top 10. This is it, the home stretch.
It's amazing. A perfect episode to be hanging out with you in person and be doing this one.
Exactly. And that's why we kind of pushed for it to make sure it happens. Just to let you know, all our friends are outside by the pool right now, and we're in the kitchen doing this podcast. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, but
it's wonderful. You guys want to watch us do our podcast? They're like, no, thanks.
Yeah, no, we'll hang out by the pool, nerds. Like, yeah, I understand completely. We thought about doing the podcast by the pool, but it might be too distracting.
For sure.
One of these days, we'll do one by the pool. At our friend's house. So anyway, we're getting into it. We got number 10. Hit us.
Number 10, The Girl I Knew Somewhere.
Woo.
You tell me that you've never been this way before. You tell me things I know that I've heard somewhere. You're standing in the places and you're staring down through faces that bring to mind traces of a girl that I knew somewhere.
What can you say about The Girl I Knew Somewhere? Really, man. Like it's an awesome jam, but it's not like a jammy jam.
It's true. It's another Mike Nesmith penned tune that he handed off to Mickey to sing. And it's a winning combination throughout the history of the Monkees, as you know. Mm-hmm. And this was the first song that got put out that they play all the instruments on. It was the B-side to A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You. Now there's a tasty slab of vinyl right there, wouldn't you say?
Heck yeah, that's a great one. Great one for the era, for sure.
For real. And every time I think of this tune, I think of the show and when they're jumping across the little, wherever they're at the planetarium, whatever, there's like a water feature that they're just kind of leaping across.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty evocative of that. And we'd be remiss if we did not mention the live 1967 version of this tune, eh, Paco?
Yes. Fantastic. Again, the best part about Live 1967 is it just sounds like a bunch of dudes banging out some songs. Mm-hmm. And this was no exception by any means. It almost elevates it beyond what it was because it's these guys pulling it off.
I just can't put my finger on what it is that says to me, watch out, don't believe it. I can't live in a world, my thoughts are bound down in a whirl. I just can't think who in the world is that girl I know I met her somewhere.
Wicked awesome. And like we said, it's a Mike tune, and they were giving her, they didn't have to like play along with the studio version of the song. This was them playing that song originally. So
yeah, that's
pretty neat. And that's, if we need to plug Live 1967 one more time, really bridges that gap from the show band to the real band.
Yeah, I've said it before, but because it's the last episode, I'll say it again. I'm so happy that exists. And it did take a long time to come out, obviously, yes. But it is a perfect example of what the Monkees were live, and it's fantastic.
And it's incredible, like, due to all the screaming and stuff. It's great that they were able to get enough of the show to like be able to make it a listenable CD.
Yeah.
I was going to say edible for the ears, which I'm going to go with anyway. It's edible for the ears.
Yes. Delish.
So that's number 10, The Girl I Knew Somewhere, written by Mike, sung by Mickey. Great tune.
Indeed. All right, now coming in single digits. We busted into single digits here.
Damn.
And there's no one else I'd rather be doing this podcast, Jeff, than you and I.
Oh, man. That's my favorite one yet.
You
I remember hearing You and I off the box set.
Yes.
And it was one of those ones that perks you up. It's my favorite Davy Jones sung song.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar is manic and awesome. Is it Neil Young that plays?
Yes, it's Neil on this one.
Yeah.
There's another song that we think is Neil, but it's not. But we're going to talk about that shortly.
Yeah.
But this is definitely Neil. And because I think it's mentioned in the box set, like, why should I get a guitar player who sounds like Neil Young when I could just get Neil Young?
Yeah.
I think it was Chipper, whoever was working on this record said that, yeah.
Yeah. And it's also got Hal Blaine on the drums.
Yes.
With the rototoms.
And right at the end when it goes all the way around your head, and it's just unbelievable.
If you've never listened to the song on headphones, just do it for the last 3 seconds of the song, essentially.
And even how you said it first hooks you in with that Neil riff and the toms going around just a little taste of that.
Chop-a-doom-ka-doom-ka-doom.
And Hal Blaine, I'm going to mention a piece. I mean, he is the legendary drummer, like the legendariest of the legendary. But some of his best work is on the closing credits of Three's Company. Let me tell you. I'll send it to you so you can post a snippet of it because he just goes off.
Three's Company was videotaped in front of a studio audience.
Unbelievable. And was he the inventor of the rototom?
They might have been at least invented for him.
Yeah.
And like he got to use them first.
Yeah. So if you don't know what a rototom is, it's like instead of having a drum with the wood under it, like being like a cylinder, it's just like a rim that the drum is on essentially. And there's no depth to it. It's just pulled tight on the rim.
And it's like three on a rack, a little one, a medium one, and a bigger one, like the Three Bears.
Yeah.
You get doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, my drummer's got one of those.
But with this one, Davey coming out of the gate, the way he sings it is fantastic. That guitar wailing behind him is great. The drums are great. The bass is great.
Yep.
It's a great song.
And Davey himself co-wrote this with Bill Chadwick, who's got his name on quite a few of these Monkees tunes. Kind of an underrated contributor to the sphere of Monkees music. And it sounds like he's singing this to Mickey. When you get to
It's true. That's a good, I never thought of it that way.
Because we've got more growing to do, me and you, and the rest of them too.
Yeah.
It's pretty much autobiographical. You can't.
That's true.
You can't think he's playing a character because this is from Instant Replay, which, as we've mentioned, is like a concept record about disillusionment and loss and the passage of time. And there's no Peter on the cover. And they're kind of working separately. It's produced by the Monkees, but in different locations, basically, and with different musicians. They've gone all the way with it, where they're making their music, but just not together.
Yeah, that's always weird to me when bands do that.
Not every band gets to do that, but
No.
the Monkees got to do it like this. Yeah. Due to the nature of the Monkees project. And this obviously means that is a series wrap for old Instant Replay.
There you go.
In general, not a lot of our favorite tunes are on this record. I think a few episodes ago, I went through the album ranking. It ends up pretty low, but this tune alone is pretty high. It's a killer tune. It appears to be our favorite Davey tune.
Yeah.
And we've Instant Replay has a tune higher than More of the Monkees. In good times. Can you believe it?
That's craziness.
So that's number 9. You and I, the Instant Replay version.
Yeah. Do not get it confused with
Don't get it twisted.
the Justice version.
The other one's cute. It's also the Dolenz Jones, Boyce, and Hart version.
That's right.
Which reminds me, folks, Paco's wearing the shirt again.
Yeah. And Jeff's wearing the Monkees' 50th shirt as well for our big final show.
When they
here.
came to town at the casino, Mickey and Peter. That was the show.
That's great. That seems like such a different lineup. It's usually Mickey and Davey, and have Mickey and Peter, or Mickey, Peter, and Davey. But
it was strange. Yes, it was very strange. And that was the one where they, side note, Davey sang the song through the PA. Everybody sang along with him because I think it was their first tour without him.
Oh,
And it was a trip.
that'd be tough.
Brr.
All right, so what do we got here?
Number 8, very important song to me. You just may be the one.
All men must have someone who never take advantage of the love bright as the sun. Someone to understand them, and you just may be the one.
It's got that great bass intro, gets you right into it. And yeah, fantastic Mike sung song.
It's true. And you probably also do the bass line on the episode we pulled this on. Way back, episode 5.
Wow. Day 2 of recording.
Day 2 of recording. Today you can do the first one.
Oof.
Go get us one.
Boom. You just may be the one.
Ooh.
There you go.
And to be honest, one of my favorites.
Yep. It is.
It's a good one. We're always happy to pull a song we like, but you know that was pretty quick for this one, and we probably knew that there wasn't going to be many tunes ahead of this one.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a song sung by Mike, written by Mike. It didn't make it on an album until Headquarters, but it shows up on the show way before Headquarters with the studio musicians and everything. And I prefer that version. Like the bass, it sounds bigger and everything. I mean, there's like subjective reasons why we like the Headquarters version because they're all playing it together and all this.
Yeah.
But it just sounds massive and cool. And that was one of the first songs I ever like watched a dude on TV and could tell that's an A chord. That's a D chord.
Oh, nice.
And like I could play this song. And I talked to Mike about that when I got to speak to Mike Nesmith over Zoom during the Demi. And it was a fucking highlight of my life. And he's just one of the only celebrities I've ever actually wanted to meet.
Yeah.
And I was iffy to meet him in person, tell you the truth.
This was
like
well.
the perfect way to do it, I think.
Yeah. I remember thinking for that thing, because it said, you have 10 to 15 minutes with him. And I didn't know what Mike was like. He always seemed kind of curmudgeonly or whatever.
Yes.
Bit of a curmudgeon. And so I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. And then as soon as it started, he was like the raddest guy in the world. And he made you feel like he was your friend.
Right away, man.
Yeah.
It was very cool. He was a very welcoming dude. We talked about a lot of cool stuff. And it's just awesome. I was like, I caught myself once or twice telling him about him, and I felt kind of embarrassed. But that's how it goes, and it was just very cool.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I know we've talked about it many times. We ended up talking for like 45 minutes, and it's an episode on Podcast Valley Sunday.
You don't say.
Conversation with Michael Nesmith.
Yes,
probably our most listened to episode.
You'd have to probably bootleg my conversation somehow. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll get it out there.
So, yes, this is one of the Monkees tunes, You Just May Be the One, that has at least 3 versions. At least 3 versions. It's got the Missing Links version, which was the show edition.
Yep.
It was the B-side to I Want to Be Free.
Weird.
Which that might be an international thing. I don't know if that happened around here. Because I got that in my notes. I'd have to look that up, folks. Because that's neat. Because back then, Mike was getting a tune per side. But he had so many tunes, couldn't use them all. They got on the show, but they didn't come out on a record or a single. But this might be an international B-side, like a UK thing, where they put out Davey's songs in the UK or whatever.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Headquarters version, where they play it themselves. It is still wicked rad. And it's one of our favorite tunes.
Yeah.
Single digit good, as they say.
And I was going to say the background when he starts soaring, and I guess it'd be the chorus.
Yes.
The voice goes high, the vocals in the background come in. It feels like you're soaring. It's a perfect Nesmith vehicle, and it's awesome.
I saw when you walked by, the love light in your eyes. I knew I must try.
It's very cool. It comes up with a lot of rhymes for. It says the same rhyme again and again and again. But
it's like the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, and it's not even a chorus, like an A part and a B part, because he says the title at the end of the A part. But then the part you talking about, the I So when you walk by, and it just keeps rhyming again and again. And then at the end of that, it goes, here I go again.
Yep.
And it just kicks into the song again, like a folk tune that you could just sing
Yeah.
all day long.
Seeing around by the fire.
But
Yeah.
we love that tune. You picture them in the red shirts.
Yep. No, yeah, for sure.
And it's just,
It's awesome.
it's a great Monkey song. One of our favorites, obviously, if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
And with that, you won't believe it. That's a wrap on Headquarters, folks.
Yo, there you go. Round of applause for Headquarters.
We've talked about it, but we don't have to talk about it now. Just an incredible accomplishment in pop culture.
Yeah. And for the Monkees themselves, it was the turning point for everything.
And a week later, Sgt. Pepper came out. The end.
Yeah. Truth. At least it wasn't the same day.
Oh my God.
But anyway. So that brings us now to number lucky 7, another Mike Nesmith tune. Listen to the band.
Woo! Listen to the band. Weren't they good? They made me happy. I think I can make it alone. Oh, mercy, woman plays a song and no one listens. I need help. I'm falling again.
What a tune. This was one of our, when it got pulled, we were happy to see it for sure.
Yes. Like, this kind of sent us down the rabbit hole a bit right away because this is on what we call the Orange record, the Monkees' Greatest Hits, but it's not like a show song.
It was a weird song on the Greatest Hits. I remember thinking like, I've never heard this one before when I first heard it.
And like, that's when you got to find like a Monkees discography and like a book about rock bands and find out where the song came from. We couldn't just look it up on our phone or something, right? It's different.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. What are you trying to do here?
It was different times and you had to like do the research. And this was on a single disc, best of the Monkees, and it had a couple deep cuts. And this was one of them. And it's really one of the ones we fell for.
Yeah. It has like the horn section going on. And in Mike's book, he said when he got to record this song, this was like a turning point for him personally in how he would approach things and how he would handle being in the studio with like the heavies essentially. And so it's a very important song for Mike.
Yes.
And just a very important song for the Monkees in general because of what it was doing in the studio and like one of the Monkees taking charge of what was going on in the studio.
Speaking of how important it is to Mr. Mike Nesmith, this is his first A-side for the Monkees.
There you go.
I mean, it was on Monkees Present. That's a wrap on Monkees Present.
Boom. Drop in like flies.
Wow. I don't know where the previous song for Monkees Present is, but way before this one. And it was also a single, like we said, his first A-side, made it all the way up to 63. Yeah, if only they had a TV show or something to help promote their music.
Yeah.
However, it was on 33 to third revolutions per monkey, and I think it was like a month before the song came out or something. The timing was all screwed up as far as the song when they did it on TV and like when it came out on vinyl. Like something was botched. The timing was off.
It's so weird. It's
Yes.
like, how do you screw this up?
And like on our countdown, on our video countdown on the YouTube, we finally get to mention that. I don't know if you've noticed, but the version of this is like the entire take from 33 and a third, where Mike's tapping on the mic and he's getting yelled at for not tapping in rhythm. You don't think I'm tapping in rhythm? And he gets pretty upset. But eventually they play the song, and it's for sure the last time the four of them play together on TV. Mm-hmm. It might be the last time the four of them play together, except for like on tour. I think Peter did one more tour, and then he was gone. But it mostly consists of the boys getting yelled at while they're trying to make this TV show. And eventually they start playing. Mike's on the guitar. Peter's on the wicked awesome like electric piano.
Oh,
and
yeah,
clavier.
it's awesome.
He's tearing it up.
Yeah.
Mickey's on the drums, and the drums have like a set list on it. And you can't quite make out what's on. I want to know what's on that set list. Davy's strutting around with the tambourine. But it's the four of them playing the song. It's wicked awesome.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of hippie weirdos come in, including like the band from 33 and a third. Oh, Brian Auger and the girl.
Oh,
you know, Dollar Store, Jefferson Airplane, whatever they were called.
yeah. Well, again, we'll mention it 'cause we probably won't talk about 33 and a third again.
Oh, why not?
But that scene of all the greats, the early rock and roll greats playing piano on a piano on a piano on a piano.
That was pretty neat.
It was amazing when I saw it, because I had never seen 33 and a third until I got the box set and like the DVD box or the Blu-ray box set.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind, that scene. I was like, how is this not something everyone talks about? Like, it's like Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Also, in '69, those dudes were kind of passé.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they're available for this odd little thing they were doing.
Special, yeah.
Which was going to be the first of a few, and then there wasn't anymore.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, rock and roll legends. For nothing.
But that was like, them playing Listen to the Band is basically the end of the TV Monkees,
Yeah.
as far as the four of them were concerned, until mid-'90s. We'll get to that another day.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a few songs coming up on the countdown.
Yeah, we got to get to those first.
Wait, we don't? I mean, from Justice.
Oh.
No, we don't.
Oh, Justice out there catching strays.
I think we had a rap on Justice
That was in the
3 episodes ago.
The triple digits.
Yeah, number 101. We're done with Justice. Just kidding, Justice. We don't dislike you as much as we're pretending to right now for laughs.
Yes, I'm wearing a Justice shirt. We were kidding about the other shirt.
I'm not even wearing a shirt, but I have a Justice tattoo
It's
on my chest.
It's gross.
It's true.
So that was number 7. Listen to Band. Listen to Band.
Listen to bam.
Listen to Band.
Listen to bam.
Which brings us to number 6.
Ooh, dramatic pause.
Circle Sky.
Woo! See, now for me, Circle Sky, I didn't hear the studio version of it for a very long time. And once again, we'll go back to those tapes I found at the used record store, because I got the head tape. That was the first time I heard Circle Sky, the studio version, because the live version was on the box set.
Yes.
And the live version was also on Missing Links Volume 2.
Correct.
And so that was all I knew. And it was kind of weird to hear the studio version, because it seems to really lack like the balls of the live version. Like, it doesn't have that cool bass line.
It
that
seems
Peter's
rushed.
playing.
It seems this kind of slapped together.
And thin. It sounds very thin.
No. And that is out of the 3 versions of this song that exist, if you can believe it. There, like Paco mentioned, there's the one, it's actually in the movie, the live version. There's the one that's on the soundtrack, which is fun if you think tambourine should be the lead instrument of rock and roll. But it's also on their comeback album that Paco has tattooed on his chest, Justice.
See, so we still did have a Justice song coming up.
Damn it. Incredible.
Yeah. So,
Circle Sky, damn you, Circle Sky.
but this was a song I brought to guitar lessons when I was in high school. And so it's one of the ones I know how to play. And yeah, it's like a rockin' tune. The one they play all 4 guys on stage and head really rips.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, a great song, I think, obviously, because it's number 6.
With some Vietnam footage here and there.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's different times, man.
I guess.
How come no one liked this movie?
Yeah.
As far as our podcast goes, we pulled this the first day that we were pulling tunes, which was episode 2 of Podcast Valley Sunday. So obviously it was our first number 1, and it was number 1 until episode 8. Yeah, and again, it's one of those tunes. Not many tunes are going to be ahead of this one, and we are correct. Only 5 tunes.
Yeah.
Managed to pull up the head of Circle Sky during the duration of our thing.
Yeah, the entire time. Like, that's some staying power.
Long story short, we like this tune.
It's sweet.
by the way, that's not a rap on the Head soundtrack, folks.
Yeah, but it is a rap on Justice.
Ooh. Sorry.
So here we have at number 5, top 5, Feeling Alive. We've got Love Is Only Sleeping.
She looked at me, and the emptiness in her eyes was cruel to see. Then she turned away and said, once I loved, but love is dead. And I whispered, sometimes love is only sleeping.
Back to the Rainbow Room we go, folks.
Man, what a tune. This one holds up so well for me, at least. Like, I love that riff, the drop D.
The drop D in 7/4 time is like do-dee, 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 do. It's like uneven. So it's like the whole thing is kind of askew.
Yeah, I actually read in an interview that Kim Tail from Soundgarden, the tuning and the timing of this song was a big influence on the Soundgarden sound.
I remember you reading that to me, Paco. It was impactful in our rock and roll lives.
Yeah.
And you can picture Chris Cornell singing this. I wish they covered this.
Me too. I think they should. And actually, Rick White, who's a Canadian musician, he was in a band called Eric's Trip, and they had a band called Elevator to Hell and Elevator Through and an Elevator. He put out this thing on Bandcamp, and it's all these 60s tunes, and he covers Love Is Only Sleeping, and it is awesome.
Sometimes love is only sleeping.
So head over to Bandcamp, look for Rick White, and you can find Love Is Only Sleeping.
Didn't he do a whole other Monkees thing previously?
When Mike Nesmith passed away, he recorded a bunch of Mike Nesmith Monkees tunes, and they were all fantastic. It's a great little record too. Also on Bandcamp, so you can check it out, listen to it there. And but yeah, this song, again, one of my original favorite Monkees songs. Once we got the box set and I could hear more songs, this one stood out in a big, big way.
It's true. It's written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, who are Brill Building legendary songwriters. Their co-workers there were Carole King and Neil Diamond. We see a pattern with a lot of these
What
tunes.
a bunch of hacks.
And she wrote a bunch of tunes. She just passed away not too long ago, but they wrote the title tune for Christmas Vacation.
Huh. Wow.
They wrote Here You Come Again by Dolly Parton. They wrote Hungry by Paul Revere and the Raiders. Whoever had Paul Revere and the Raiders on their Podcast Valley Sunday bingo board, you got there they are.
Yep.
They wrote for pretty much everybody since the 60s. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010. And most importantly to us, they wrote Love Is Only Sleeping
Yeah.
by the Monkees. And we love this tune.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, it's a Rainbow Room, probably early in the day because Mike still got the suit on with the frilly sleeves hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, what a look. What a Mike look. Just the hippie on the wrists, but he's got the power suit, the necktie and everything. It's like, there's Mike Nesmith in 1967 right there.
And again, I always bring up background vocals, but this has some dreamy background vocals, like coming up to the chorus. It's another song, you don't know what the chorus is, what the verse is, there's a bridge, like, because it's a Nesmithy tune, but he has to sing the chorus, which has to sing the title, which he's not always fond of.
Not super duper thing.
But
In fact, here's Mike Nesmith to talk about singing the title of a song.
I don't understand why you need to sing that. It's written down on the back of the record. Do I sing the chords too? Do I say A chord, C chord, D chord? No, you just know what it is.
Thank you, Nez.
Anytime.
Number 5, Love Is Only Sleeping. Anything else to say about that one?
No, just amazing. And I wouldn't have been surprised if it was higher, which shows you how the next 4 songs are just like, look out, Jack.
It is kind of a trip. And it was supposed to be a single, but there was like a manufacturing problem.
What the hell?
And it didn't. And then that kind of, it was iffy to begin with because of the title. And it was like risque back in 67 to
Come on.
write a song about love and sleeping at the same time. That's a gee.
Used to be love is only boning.
That's number 5, Love Is Only Sleeping. I get to do number 4. It is my honor to induct into the Randomatic Countdown from the Woolhat Of Mystery, Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Woo!
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday. Charcoal burning everywhere. Rows of houses that are all the same, and no one seems to care.
So this song, obviously, we've mentioned it before, but way back in the early 90s when we were in high school, we used to set up a video camera and have like our own talk show called the Jeff Cameron Show. And our intro music was Pleasant Valley Sunday.
It's true.
And so that song for me is always has a really tight connection to our youth.
It's a part of our heritage. Yeah. Yes, that was my show.
Watched by tens of people.
Speaking of stuff is nearly impossible to bootleg. But yeah, we wanted an Up and Let's Go tune, and you can't get much more Up and Let's Go than Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Up and let's go. Yeah, it's a great tune. I think when we pulled this, we mentioned this, but the song makes you feel about what the song is about. Like having an outdoor barbecues, Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Charcoal burning everywhere.
Yeah, the song gives you that vibe. It's like when we go outside after this is the song I want to play.
For real. And it's like timeless social commentary, stuff that was true back in 67 is still true today. And about just suburban life and the houses that all look the same. Mm-hmm. And very little has changed.
Yeah. And no one seems to care.
TV in every room.
Yeah. That's a TV in every hand. Like we're just watching TVs everywhere.
That's right. And this is another Goffin and King number. Had a few of those on the countdown, as we mentioned. And it's not our last one either. But Pleasant Valley Sunday has got the killer guitar riff.
You're going to say the opening riff is fantastic.
The killer vocals by Mr. Mickey Dolenz. And the backgrounds from the rest of the gang, too.
When Davey does the ta-ta-ta-tia, ta-ta-ta-tia, it's awesome.
A little extra vowel or two.
Awesome background vocals again in this song.
Very cool. And like the Mike and Mickey blend is switched up because Mike's screaming at the background vocals this time. It's great.
It's awesome.
And when he does the Pleasant Valley Sunday at the end and Mickey comes up on top.
Oh, the high Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday. Another Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Which he still does in the shows. And we're watching the show and we're like, oh, is he going to do it? And he does it.
Yeah. And then the crowd always cheers because he's hitting, like he's hitting those notes. And he's got the new, like, thicker Mickey voice that he has now. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing.
Yes. And like we said, they shoot the promo video in the Rainbow Room.
Yep.
I kind of picked like a lo-fi version of it for the countdown just to see what it used to look like. Just to remind everybody, like sometimes you get a video of the Monkees and it looks like shit, but you'll watch it 1,000 times. Because this is all you got, man. And this is the Rainbow Room. It's a wrap on the Rainbow Room, by the way.
Look out.
And it feels like the Monkees like live there, but that was just like an afternoon.
Yeah.
But the tunes have endured the imagery, with the Mickey and the tablecloth, and just so much from that day just resonated throughout the Monkee fandom to this day.
And I wonder if when they're shooting it, they had any idea. It was just like, no, just do a bunch of promos, do a bunch of songs, spit them out, don't worry about it. But they had no idea that they were making this iconic look and vibe of the Monkees on that day.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because they had a show scheduled in Milwaukee, but it was canceled due to riots.
Wow.
So
Let's just go in the Rainbow Room
We're
and
stuck
bang
in
out
Chicago
a
for
couple.
the day. Is there anywhere we could shoot something?
Crazy.
And like, think of like what percentage of the second season of the Monkees is the Rainbow Room footage.
Yeah.
It means a lot from anybody who was watching the show and loved these tunes. From where they had the influence, they're making the show, they're making the music on their own terms. They never got to really make the show on their own terms, which is a bummer. Mm-hmm. But this was like a creative and commercial peak for them. Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It was number 1. Actually, no, it went to number 3.
Yeah, you say it's like.
But it was also on Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and John's. A very, very spiffy album.
Man, I don't understand how that album was not like a number 1 album with all the or even just higher than it was. Like it just should have been a much more revered album than it is.
It's a bummer, of course.
But we got the songs still.
We still got
and
the
they're
tunes.
still awesome.
They still endure. And if they were crappy songs, we wouldn't still be talking about it.
Exactly. Get out of here, crappy songs.
So that's our number 4, Pleasant Valley Sunday, the namesake to our podcast here.
Amazing.
Podcast Valley Sunday.
So now here we are at number 3 with a long title. Do I have to do this all over again?
Do I have to do this all over again? Didn't I do it right the first time? Do I have to do this all over again? How many times do I have to make this climb? Didn't I?
All right. For me, this song is untouchable in so many ways. That bass is just fantastic. Like I want to buy a bass just to learn how to play this bass part, and that's all I'll ever learn. That's all I want to learn. But
absent of a bass, Paco, what does that bass part sound like?
boom, beat a little boom, ba-doodle doo, ba-doom doom, goom, goom, ka-doodle boom, ba-doom goom, doom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doodle boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doodle boom, boom, ba-doom. That's what it is.
It's the biomes that make it all
Yeah,
fit together.
you got to do that neck.
The big slide.
Boom. Yeah, I almost blacked out because I didn't take a breath before I started that. But anyway.
Tremendous.
But it's also got, this was the other song that we and many people thought Neil Young played on. Mm. But it's not Neil Young, is it?
It's Stephen Stills.
Yeah, so.
Neil's best frenemy.
Yeah, exactly. And the guy who got Peter the job, essentially, on the Monkees.
Yes.
And there's that one point where the guitar, you're not sure if it's a guitar or a flute. When it's like that, do 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 do, and it's like, what am I listening? Do 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 do, and it's awesome. Peter singing it is fantastic.
Yes.
And there's that part when you're watching it in head, and it's all psychedelic and crazy.
Super psychedelic.
And Mickey's dancing. We're just kind of doing like the Beavis air hump dance. And it's so funny and awesome. And it just feels like you're plugged into Peter in like 1968.
It's really true.
You're right there. And
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And at the end when he's like kind of screaming, the did-nies and all that. And it's just awesome. I love this song so much.
Yeah, man. And like after Birds and the Bees and the Monkees, which had no Peter, he is all over the Head soundtrack. Mm-hmm. He sang the song, as you mentioned. He wrote this song. And it just, his whole vibe of hippie Peter Tork seems to be bottled up in this tune.
Yeah.
It is, as he points out in the title, it is indeed a long title.
It is. But it's perfect. Where it comes in head, it just kind of takes over. Like it's after the happy birthday part, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're kicked into the song. And like I said, the psychedelic look, the song, the vibe, the movie itself, it's the best part.
And on the video countdown on the YouTube channel, I included that part beforehand where Mike is floating down the hallway.
Yeah.
And the video looks like the scrambled porn channels on the old cable TV.
Yep.
Yeah, anyone who was alive in the 90s knows what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And we pulled this back at episode 8, the end of day 2. And it knocked Circle Sky out the number one spot until episode 20 of the podcast when we pulled
The Porpoise Song.
What?
And I will say, when we started this countdown, I kind of thought this song at number 2, The Porpoise Song, was going to be the number 1 song.
It's a strong favorite, absolutely.
It's been in like multiple shows. It keeps popping up in things. It's definitely a song when people hear they don't think it's the Monkees. And it's, just the theme from Head. It's perfect. Where it comes in, it bookends the film, essentially.
Yeah.
And as soon as they jump off that bridge and it starts in the slow motion and everything, and then Mickey starts singing, it's a perfect, dreamy
It's
tune.
a perfect tune and the perfect illustration of it. And just, it's hard to separate the song from the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's a Mickey lead vocal. You can hear Davey giving her on the backgrounds, Paco?
It's fantastic when he hits those high notes. And also how the guitar is almost percussive before the goodbye parts. Like you really hear the pick on the strings.
Yes.
They got that ching 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 ching, and it's just
Probably a metal pick of some kind.
Yeah.
Like a dime or something.
Yeah, it's just ringing out. And it's a perfect song. Friends of mine who like the Monkees and maybe not love the Monkees, but a lot of them, this is the song they love.
Yeah, if you're going to gateway someone into the Monkees, if they're like sort of a cool person, you don't want to bring up Auntie Griselda or Could Buy Me a Dog, maybe not, or French song. No, you hit them with Porpoise Song. If they're like real cool psychedelic music people, they will find something to like about this tune.
Yeah, 100%. It's so awesome. And you're never disappointed when it pops up in something.
Yep, and it's a Goffin and King tune. And that'll be a wrap on Goffin and King on the countdown. And it's also a wrap on the Head soundtrack, if you can believe it.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It did pretty good with us.
For real. I for many, like say like a Monkees fan, but not like a Monkees super fan.
Yeah.
If you say, oh yeah, the Head soundtrack, that made it all the way up to number 2 on our countdown. People are like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're saying.
But yeah, and the Porpoise Song itself came out as a single. Made it all the way to number 62.
Woo!
Which I think is how good Head the movie did that weekend.
Luckily, it wasn't going against Barbie. It just got steamrolled into the gutter.
The Barbie Head weekend.
The Barbenheimer. Yeah, the Barbie Head. The bed weekend.
Hey now.
Or Harvey.
Harvey.
Harvey the Lervberg.
And now finally, boys and girls.
Holy smokes.
Way up here at number 1.
Number 1.
The Door into Summer.
Yes, he thought he heard the echoes of a penny whistle band and the laughter from a distant caravan and the brightly painted line of circus wagons in the sand fading through the door into summer.
See, now for me, The Door into Summer is my favorite Monkees song. You know, but I wasn't sure how you felt about it. I don't know how everybody felt about it in general. Honestly, until there was the live Mike and Mickey show version that came out, and everybody kind of lost their minds. And it was like, this has been a favorite song of mine since the box set.
Yep.
Like, I love it so much. And I can't even put a finger on why I love it so much. It just fits so well. The melodies, the chorus, the chords, everything is just perfect.
It is a pretty neat song musically and lyrically. The social commentary, kind of like, you know, money bad, spend time doing the things you like.
Good.
It is good. And it's a Chip Douglas co-write with Bill Martin, who is kind of in and out of the Monkees scene quite a bit. And I think he appears on Name That Drug on Elephant Parts.
Oh, wow.
So he's in it quite a bit. And speaking of stuff Mike does, this is a song Mike sings with Mickey in the background.
Yeah.
And I do believe this is the song they recorded in the bathroom
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
because they couldn't get the sound right in the studio. So you can find the pictures online. Mike set up the mic in the studio bathroom.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's just, it's got a really cool bass line in it. The guitar is really nice. It's got that opening like
Acoustic, slidey acoustic,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's just great. Mike singing, he said, Mickey backup. It's just a great, great, great song and just gives you really great vibes. And I remember when we saw the Mike and Mickey tour and they played this song, because I didn't know how the deep cuts were going to go. I didn't know what to expect on that tour. I didn't look up other set lists. I just went to it.
Yeah.
And
for people who are buying tickets to a Monkees show, I wouldn't call it a deep cut. It's like a medium cut.
yeah.
It was on the show. It didn't have like its own. Did it have its own video of them playing it?
I don't know.
Or kind of,
It doesn't
it's
jump
just
out
a
to me.
background of a romp kind of thing.
Yeah, but when they did play it live, I was just like, okay, because I'd never seen it at any other show.
Oh man, me neither. Because Mike wasn't there until this one.
Yeah, and to hear him sing it, and because his voice was so great on that tour, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. And then there was that live version that they put out as a single as well from the live album. And go check that out if you've never heard it. But chances are, if you're listening to this podcast, you've heard that.
The number one on our countdown is that video from the Mike and Mickey show.
Yep.
Of the show we saw, basically. Well, not specifically in Toronto, but
yeah.
From that tour with that band, it was incredible and
amazing.
just wild to watch.
So fantastic.
And the background vocals on the outro. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Fading through the door into fading through the door into summer. Fading through the door into summer.
Forget about it. I can't even handle it.
Can't even think about it right now.
Yeah, but it is so fantastic. Again, it's been my favorite song almost since I first heard it. It went to the top of the charts and stayed there.
It's true. And then there was this massive tunes that with like Pleasant Valley Sunday and this and Love Is Only Sleeping and Circle Skyward, like our favorite bunch of tunes.
Yeah.
And kind of the point of all this was to find out what our favoriteest tunes were.
Yeah.
And it all checks out. But I think seeing them do it live really put this one over the top for me, possibly for you too.
Yeah. It couldn't be beat after once they played that at that show. Even though that show had no low points, there was never any song where I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go take a whiz now.
Pretty much.
I was in it, and they knew what they were doing, and they knew how to dish out the songs. And this song, they knew.
They know who came to watch.
Exactly. Me and you, and
That's
they had
right.
to show off to us.
For real. Oh, you feel like St. Matthew?
Yeah.
Casuals.
Yeah, exactly. No D.W. Washburn, TBC,
Aww.
which is crazy.
Where's Laugh?
Yeah.
Where was Laugh?
Where's the other you and I? So we could just keep going on about how much we love this song, but just kind of be us in a circle, just talking about it over and over again.
If you want to dig up episode 42, you could hear us talking about it. When we pulled it out the hat, and we were kind of like, this is it.
Yeah, we kind of were like, is it for you too? Because for me it is. And we were like, yep, let's do this one, number one. So obviously it's been number one since episode 42.
For real. Porpoise song was at number one from episode 20 to 42.
Yeah, and then 42 onward. Oof. Amazing.
And that's a wrap on the Randomatic Countdown.
Holy smokes.
Courtesy of the Woolhat Of Mystery.
What a list, I gotta say. And we'll do a little talk now, because this is technically our last episode, but we do have the head episodes we're gonna do.
Yes.
And then we're gonna have some specials coming up in the future. Just we're gonna keep sprinkling in, but it's gonna be a little while before you hear from us.
So I
again.
don't know if it'll be 2 weeks.
Yeah. Might be a little longer. We'll see.
We used to do 8 of these in a day. Can you believe it?
That's crazy to think of. But
No. 4 a day.
4 a day.
For 2 days.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Nutty.
But with this, the whole Woolhat thing, it came episode 2.
The concept for our Monkees Countdown, you see. We could just list our favorite Monkee songs in order from last to first, or we could discuss randomly selected Monkee songs and at the same time place them in the countdown And then ultimately we'll know what our favorite, like, I'm interested in seeing what our like top 12 would be. Not necessarily what's at the very top, because it's going to be hard to choose.
Yeah, we're going to have to make concessions.
It's going to be fist fights.
Yeah. Jeff, you came up with the idea.
Yeah.
And it was a great idea because we wanted to figure out how to put like the music in and not just talk about the show.
Yeah, we were able to talk about the show and then the music.
Yeah.
Every day. And this is like kind of the end of that task we put out for us, because we made it all the way through the show. And then now we sprinkled these tunes all throughout it and stuck them in the countdown. And we got to talk about it. Now here we are at the end of it.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah. And it's also like, because we were talking about different ways of doing it. And one of the ways we talked about was, okay, do we start in the middle and go each way to the best song and the worst song? We're trying to figure that out. But then your idea of pulling the songs randomly and putting them in a countdown, it also helps with where you're going to put these songs. Because if you just take 167 songs or whatever it is and try to figure out an order for them, that's a tall order. But if you do three at a time and kind of place them within and having this idea of, okay, from this song up, like it was usually words, was like from words like up, that's like the good stuff. And then from there, it's kind
jellies,
of the jellies, the jams, the marmalades. And we had to figure out where they were. But I think the way we did this was a lot of fun.
It was neat because, we could have chronologically, but then we'd be talking about Pool It for 8 weeks or whatever. No, pass. So this was kind of neat because due to the nature of the Monkees, like in the same episode, we're talking about 60s Monkees, 80s Monkees, talking about good times. It was neat just kind of jump around just because of how the music is and when it came out. It was very cool and a lot of fun and kind of really kept it interesting, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully. At least for us it did. And also it was cool because we pulled out a song like, what is the song again? And we listened to it and we're like, this song is amazing. Like,
yes.
Yeah. It was a great way of reintroducing ourselves to songs we might skip over.
For real.
Or then getting into songs we love and hear them again and talk about them.
And that was almost 4 years ago.
Which is insane.
So
insane.
It's pretty neat to be crossing this particular finish line, I must say.
And it's fantastic to be able to do it in the same room.
Finally.
Which is just a great way. It just happened to work out that way. We're coming down. So here we are.
Yeah. It has been fun doing it over the Zoom, and we've made it work, and it sounds pretty neat. It sounds like we're there together.
It really does.
But this time, we're there. And it is mostly due to the incredible editing work of my cousin, Chris Paco, sitting across from me. He puts,
why, thank you.
This is what he does when he's procrastinating on the Beastie Boy thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
He edits an entire podcast, and it's not easy because there's a lot of stuff you don't hear, a lot of false starts, a lot of flubbed words, a lot of this and that, and you can't even tell.
Yeah,
and it's incredible. And Paco, incredible work.
Thank you. Thank you.
I tip me hat to you.
Yeah, we're not that good, so I have to clean us up quite a bit. But no, it's been a great time. I'm so happy we did this Monkees podcast. Like it was just because we were trying to think of a podcast to do, and then when this came up, that was like the one.
There's no other answer.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect to go through the shows, go through the music, go through the albums, and now here we are. We just have one more movie to talk about, and that'll be our next episode at an undisclosed time.
We might sneak one in about an episode of the show that came out way after the show.
Winky wink.
We'll talk about that later.
Winky wink. So everyone, we may as well just wrap this up, I guess. We could keep stalling on this all day.
Yep.
So thanks to everybody for checking out our podcast. We hope you liked it. Tell your friends about it. Get more Monkees fans to listen to this. Get some non-Monkees fans to be converted because of this. So from me, Paco.
And me, Jeff.
Have yourselves a Monkees little evening.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.